there is a tough line you have to walk with Google on this because you can't review gate, which is essentially blocking people from getting to Google.
Welcome to Pest Radio. I am Faye Cebi. I'm really excited to kick things off with our very first guest, Jared Nygren, the founder of Apruv, an AI-powered solution for the home service industry. Jared and I actually met at Pest World 2024 in Denver, Colorado, when he stopped by our company's booth, Digital Karma. We had a great conversation, and of course, we had a couple of meetings online afterwards. And from the first moment, I knew right away that he would be the perfect guest to launch this podcast. So thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Faye. Excited to be on the podcast.
So tell us about Apruv. What kind of software is it, and what exactly does it do, and what challenges does it solve?
Yeah, so let's start with the challenges that it's solving. So when we look at the home service, particularly the recurring home service industry, one of the biggest challenges that they're facing is retention. So some of the leading reports from IBIS World and others put that churn rate, so customers leaving within a year, between 20 to 35%. So that has a significant impact on the bottom line, and that's what we're going after. So we do that in three core ways. The first is onboarding. So we have an AI-powered contract verification tool that goes over the key terms of the contract. And so this is great for large door-to-door teams, large inside sales teams. If you're often getting customers calling in and saying, hey, I thought I just signed up for one service, or hey, this is not what your sales rep promised me. This is exactly what we're solving for.
Is that Apruv Verify?
That is exactly.
Okay.
So it video records the customer going through an AI experience. The AI is talking key terms of the contract with them, what the agreement length is, what they should expect, and they're verbally agreeing to that. And then it's saved back on to the contract file in their home service software.
So both parties are on page.
So everyone's on the exact same page. We're starting off on the right foot. Secondly, is we want to make sure that the service technicians are over delivering on the services. So we're pulling in key performance metrics. So you can think of things like assigning productivity points to different service categories, average time on site targets, what's the reservice rate, or how effective are their services. Things like that, customer satisfaction that we're tracking for each technician, that leaderboard those technicians, and you can assign rewards if they hit certain targets. So we're gamifying that whole experience to help technicians over deliver on every service that they do. And then finally, with our...
So that is Apruv Align,
That's
right?
Apruv Align, right?
So what we call in marketing is gamification, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So we're making that data visible. We're making it interesting where you can tie rewards to it. And every time you start measuring service productivity, it improves, right? So if you're putting it out there, it's transparent, you're going to start seeing that rate of productivity increase with your technicians.
So you may say both of these two products really improve the transparency between the customer and the company.
Exactly. And then the final step is showing the value of what you accomplished and getting that feedback from the customer. So you have Verify, Align, and then Rate. And Rate allows the technician to take a video picture of what they did to drive in the value of the service. And then that sends to the customer via text, email, with an option for them to leave a rating and then go on to Google. So we try to capture it from the beginning all the way to the end to really drive exceptional customer experiences and get the staff engaged.
When you talk about review, I know for local businesses, especially in home service industry, recurring jobs, reviews are the most important dynamics of the customer retention and for new leads. So what if the rating is low? Is there a chance for the company to jump into the issue before they get the review on Google My Business or, I don't know, any other platforms?
Yes, exactly. So, there is a tough line you have to walk with Google on this because you can't review gate, which is essentially blocking people from getting to Google. But there is an opportunity where you can ask for their feedback and solve those problems
before directing the review to Google Business.
Yeah, exactly. So you can't ever not give them the opportunity to go to Google, but you can give them the opportunity to contact your team. And oftentimes that's where the disconnect is. If they don't have a way to get to you, there's an issue, and they just go straight to Google because that's the only place they know how to get to you, you're going to get bad reviews. But we enable them to send that feedback directly to the technician, directly to the admins, and allows them to get those problems solved before it becomes a public issue.
That's great. So they can avoid low ratings and solving the issue with the customer, and it also improves the relationship with the customer.
Exactly. Yep.
So who is the ideal customer for Apruv? I know it's for home service industry, but what types of businesses or teams benefit the most of your platform?
Yeah, any home service company that's doing recurring services, we're a great fit for. We're primarily right now focused on the pest control vertical. And so majority of our accounts are in pest control. The system software is applicable to really any recurring service.
So how does Apruv use AI to improve team performance and customer engagement?
Good question. So the primary use of AI is with Apruv Verify, where we're going through and confirming the contract details. But we also use it as a AI synthesis of feedback coming in. So you can see at a glance, what's the trends for your company feedback. And then additionally, we have AI review responder that will respond to your reviews for you or give you guidance on those review responses. And then we're looking into adding AI standard operating procedures in the technician performance app, which allows company admins to easily create standard operating procedures. And it allows the technicians to easily consume it, where they can type into the search bar a question and it searches all the SOPs and pulls that answer with a reference. Additionally, we're looking at pulling in an AI data analyst. So with all the data that we're pulling across the staff performance, customer reviews, we want to turn that into a tool that allows admins to have conversations with their customer data, with their staff productivity data. So you can just ask questions. You don't have to dig into the data, pull reports, and run difficult analysis.
That's amazing. They can do it in one platform.
Exactly. Yep.
So I know in the market there are other AI-powered solutions. So what makes Apruv different and better from other similar software?
Yeah, we have a deep focus in home services. So we have integrations with some of the largest players out there. So Field Routes, PestPack, BrioStack, and a lot of the common tools that a home service company, particularly a pest control company, is going to use. So our ability to pull all their data and synthesize it in a way that's useful and actionable is a really powerful asset behind the AI tools within Apruv. And then just overall where we're headed in that industry, we're continuing to apply AI in every facet of the platform.
How does it, all these commonly used software like Field Route and PestPack, how does that integration work? Is it easy or customer needs your involvement?
Pretty easy. So it's just an API key away. Plug in their API key and we've got connection into their data.
Let's see. So Jared, tell us a bit about your background. Are you a software engineer or at least an engineer?
I'm not the brains behind the machine. I'm the business guy. So my background is in product marketing. I have an MBA from Northwestern. And then from there, that's where I got into Apruv. So shortly after I graduated, I launched another company called Market Surge that was focused on lead nurturing. And that's how we got exposed to some of the challenges that we're solving with Apruv. And so,
because mostly the expectation from tech companies is founders always are either software engineers or engineers. So that's also interesting.
Yes. Yeah. I have a great co-founder who is the CTO, and he built a lot of the core software and now leads our current development team.
He's the technical guy?
You got it.
All right. So how long have you been an entrepreneur? Do you feel like you were born to be an entrepreneur, or was there a specific moment or experience that pushed you in that direction?
Yeah, no, I think it's always been in my blood. I was the kid growing up selling candy to the neighbors or whatever I could. I've always had entrepreneurship as part of my core. After I graduated my undergraduate, I went into the corporate world for a few years into product marketing. I was always doing a side hustle, something to scratch the entrepreneurial itch. But it wasn't until after my MBA that I jumped full time into Market Surge, which was my first company that I sold in.
What kind of a company was it?
Yeah. So it did lead nurture management, same emailing, automation, and it was focused in that part of Go High Level system for that company. And so we did that for about 2 years and sold that company on a platform called Micro Acquire. It's now called acquire.com. But I sold it because we saw the path forward with Apruv, and that we were introduced to some of the challenges and the retention challenges that we're solving. And I saw an awesome opportunity to build a really powerful product there.
So what inspired you to start Apruv after that company? Was there a specific challenge or gap in the market? Maybe you just mentioned retention, but why mostly in pest control industry? And so that led you to develop this solution. I think it's because mostly you had the experience for market search or pest control industry.
Yeah. So I think when you look at entrepreneurship, there's a couple of different ways you can go at it. One is a top-down approach where you really analyze the market and you try and find industry pain points. You do user interviews and you really try and find where you can build a solution in. The other is a bottom-up approach where you have someone that comes to you directly. Here's a problem. We will pay you if you can build and create. And that's how Apruv was started. We had a couple pest control companies that expressed a pain point and asked, if you can build this, we'll pay you X, Y, Z. I think we took that as a signal. If they want it, it's very likely that there's a market for this. And with some basic tests in the market, that proved true. And so we've just built from customer feedback from day one, and it's continued to grow from there.
So breaking into a market with a new product is always a challenge. How has the market response been so far for Apruv? Are you seeing strong adaptation? And what has been your biggest win in terms of sales or customer growth?
Yeah, we're running fast as we possibly can. There's a constant push on building the next thing in Apruv, and we've had a tremendous response from customers and potential customers. So we see a really strong future, and we're just trying to keep up with the wave we're riding.
How is the customer service working at Apruv?
Yeah, so a lot of it's handled by us, right? When you're small, you're scrappy, you've got to be involved in everything.
Everything.
Right.
Being an entrepreneur is like this. You are on everything.
Yes, exactly. So we've brought in folks to help, but we're still at the phase where we're involved in a lot of it. A challenge or issue where I usually know about it.
So many businesses hesitate to adapt AI-powered solutions due to certain perceptions or concerns. We have also seen firsthand with our AI-powered chatbot or AI voice agent for pest control and landscape companies. Some businesses are really open to it, but while others are hesitant. So from your experience, what are some of the common mindset challenges you have seen when it comes to AI adaptation, and how you address them?
Yeah, I think probably the things that come to my mind is not knowing what's out there. AI is changing so fast. It's nearly impossible to keep up with it if you're not in it every day. So I think one of the barriers is just not knowing what to use and not keeping up with it. It can change within a week with how fast AI is progressing and the capabilities. I think the other thing is implementation. I think that can be a little bit of a barrier. You have a system you're used to. It's not easy to make a change. And so I think the way you overcome those is by really helping to attach it to real results. So whether that's showing that we can actually have an impact on churn or losing customers. So across the analysis that we've run, we've seen about a 15% decrease if you're using the full Apruv platform in your churn rates. So if you're a mid to large pest control company, that can represent a high 6-7-figure impact, which clearly demonstrates the value of going through that pain of changing your systems or implementing something new.
Mhm.
So it's never easy to plug something new in, especially like AI that has some unpredictability to it. But when you're able to demonstrate the impact, it's a clear, easy business decision.
So what is next for Apruv? Any exciting developments or features in the pipeline, or is your plan to expand into other industries within the home service industry, like landscaping, solar, or beyond?
Yeah, so we've already started to expand into both of those. Our primary focus is still pest control, but we're bringing on accounts in any home service vertical that has the reoccurring nature to it. But our goal is to continue to enhance the product. So I mentioned AI standard operating procedures that we want to integrate into the technician app, and then the AI data analyst to make it really, really easy to consume your customer data and your staff productivity data. So it's just a question away. You're not having to dig through reports and try and put difficult analysis together.
Where can our listeners learn more about Apruv or connect with you?
Yeah. So apruv.io, apruv.io is our website. You can book a call with us right there, or you can reach out to me, jared.n@apruv.io as well. And I'm happy to chat and walk through what we do and learn more about anyone who's interested in implementing AI into their business.
They can easily book a demo from the website, right?
Yes, definitely.
That's great.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, I love asking that question to fellow entrepreneurs, just because we all go through the same roller coaster, ups and downs, wins and challenges. So what has your journey been like as an entrepreneur? I know this is your second company, but I'm sure you are still learning a lot, even though you had the experience with the first company. And for those thinking about starting their own business, what advice would you give? Looking back, what are some things that worked well for you? And what are some things that did not?
Yeah. So I would say, from someone who wants to be an entrepreneur, I think one of the biggest challenges is making that jump, right? So whether you're in a full-time job or you're a college student who's trying to determine, can I pull something off or do I need to go work in the corporate world? In hindsight, where I felt like the missed opportunity for me to start earlier was trying to start something that was a really big, I guess you could call sexy idea, right? Like the Uber or something really that's actually really challenging to execute on. They're fun to pitch at business competitions. They're fun to talk about. They're really challenging to pull off. And you don't need to start there. I think there's a lot of businesses that are proven to work, and starting with something that's already proven to work and learning how to run a business, how to be an entrepreneur, that is where you should start. And that can piggyback into much bigger ventures after you know how to run a business, learn how to sell a business. You got money in your pocket and you can do something a little bit bigger. You're not in such a time crunch. So that would be my advice to anyone who's wanting to become an entrepreneur, is just start something that's proven to work and just do something a little bit better service, a little bit better marketing, take a spin on it and get yourself in the game.
I am from Gen Y. So when I graduated from university, being an entrepreneur or building something from scratch was not the first option. We were pushing to be a white collar, mostly, or corporate jobs. But when I see Gen Z or millennials, they're much more open than we were, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. Probably thanks to the TikToks on how to get a business going.
So, Jared, this has been such a great conversation. Thank you for sharing your journey and insight with us. Would you like to add more about Apruv?
I'd just say if you're running a home service business and you're looking to drive retention, let's chat. I think we've got lots of solutions across our platform that will have an impact on helping you keep more customers and engaging your staff to really drive top level performance.
Okay. Thank you again. I really appreciate your time. And I would like to say, a special thank you for being my very first guest and believing in me. I'm really looking forward to see you next year at Pest World 2025 as a fellow exhibitor.
Yes, we'll be there.
Oh, so great. Thank you very much again.
Thank you so much, Faye.